Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I am so glad you've stopped by. Today we are reviewing the Midas Cosmetics Unveiled collection. We have two palettes here. One is Berry Nude and the other is Cool Nudes. So if you'd like to see what these palettes look like, how they swatch, how one of them performs, as well as if you'd like to know my initial first impressions on these palettes, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. First, guys, let me just tell you that Midas Cosmetics has been coming out with so many palettes lately. So we have the Unveiled collection here, that's the Berry Nude and the Cool Nude. Then we've got three artistry palettes over here, Volume 1, Volume 1.2, and Volume 2. I personally love the Midas Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. If you've never watched one of my reviews of the Midas Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, which I think the only one I have reviewed was the Smoky Glow collaboration, I'll leave it linked right up here so you guys can check it out if you want to. That formula was fantastic. It was beautiful. I think I might have had one shade broken in it, but I repressed and it worked perfect after that. But either way, point is, I have a lot of palettes here to try that I know are still going to be fantastic if they're anything like that formula. But today is all about the Unveiled collection and the Unveiled collection only. Now I bought these both in a bundle. They were $32 for both of them, but you can also buy them individually for $18 each. Plus, you can use code ChristopherJMUA on your purchase if you would like to save 20% off. And I also will have a link down below that you can make any purchases from Midas Cosmetics if you'd like. It is an affiliate link, so I do get commission for purchases that you make. So don't feel like you have to use the code or the link. You can definitely just go to MidasCosmetics.com and still enjoy any of these palettes that you want to. But if you do happen to use the link, I am very honored that you would do so, and it's always really appreciated when you do, because these lights gotta stay on somehow. So here we have the unit carton for the Cool Nudes Unveiled palette. It almost looks blurry because it's like double printed there. I think that's really neat. It looks like there's a veil making it hard to see. I get it, that's cute. Then if we flip it over, it's got the ingredients on the back and it shows the name of the eyeshadow palette. Oh, I'm so sorry for my nails, by the way. They need done again, just like always, so bear with me with my nails. Then if we flip it back over and we take the palette out of the sleeve, the palette appears to be exactly the same, except it doesn't have the ingredients on the back. And then if we open it, here are all of the Cool Nudes available to us within this palette. Very nice mix of mattes and shimmers. Then we have the Unveiled Berry Nude collection. Same exact kind of printing as on the Cool Nude palette, except it's berry and pinky tones on here instead. And then we flip it over, same thing, ingredients on the back, palette name on the top. Then if we pull the palette out of the sleeve, take out the protective sheet, and here is Berry Nude. Oh, that's my jam right there. Ooh, that's perfect. Again, a really nice mix of matte to shimmer. Okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so that we can get started on swatches. Now there are no shade names on these palettes, so I'm just going from top to bottom, left to right, and this is starting with the Cool Nude palette. Now that's all the shades from Cool Nude. Now here's the first shade from Berry Nude. And there we have every single shade from the Midas Cosmetics Unveiled collection, both the Cool Nudes palette and the Berry Nude palette. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here's our video close-up of every single swatch. Just being honest, I don't know that these palettes were necessarily made to be swatched, because those swatches really weren't that punchy, they weren't that potent or oversaturated, if you will. But you guys know, just like I do, that swatches literally mean nothing for the performance of the shadow on the eye. It just gives you the chance to see the color story out of a palette. So hopefully we will have some nice buildable pigment that we can get on the eye. And as you might have guessed, I think I'm gonna use the Berry Nude palette today because I love me my berry tones. Don't get me wrong, I love my cool tone nudes too, but I feel like this is probably gonna be the most popular, most common one that people go to, maybe, possibly, probably. So I'm gonna do the one that's a little more obscure. So starting with my Sigma E35 tapered blending brush, I'm gonna begin by going into the shade right here. And with this shade, I'm just gonna start packing it right here in the outer portion of the crease. I feel like this is literally the exact same way I start every look. You guys know the drill pretty much. I mean, it's a big fluffy brush with a transition shade, a smaller fluffy brush with a deepening shade, a smaller pointed brush for the deepest tone, then a flat brush for the shiny shade on the lid, and boom, we're done. Not exactly, but you get the idea. So upon first application, we had a nice veil of color. Upon second application, we're getting some potency, and it's actually starting to look like the shade that's in the pan now, which is nice. It lets you know that you can keep it soft and just a wash of color if you want to, or you can build it up and make it intense. The shade is super, super pretty. It's just a really nice, like orangey pinky kind of tone that blends out beautifully. It's just a soft, even veil of color. Now I'm gonna take this pointed Morphe blender brush and I'm gonna go into this pink shade on the bottom corner. Now this shade is just gonna be my inner corner crease color, or inner crease color, whatever you wanna call it. It's just gonna go right on this inner portion of the crease. I'm essentially just following the crease line that I created with the darker shadow out here and pulling it inward. You can see what I'm doing. It's this nice little arc now from pink to orangey berry nude, whatever you want to call that other color. Wow, this pink is perfect. Now that I've gotten a perfect arc, like a really sharp line there, I'm gonna just start using the point of this tapered brush and getting some tiny little circular motions, blending out the sharp edge to it. I'm gonna do that all the way back until I get into the other shade. This way I just have a really nice, soft, smoky kind of blend rather than a super sharp blend. Sometimes the sharp blend can be cool. It can have its own little moment, but today is not that moment for that kind of look. I realize that's really soft and subtle and it's nothing major, but this is literally one of those perfect kind of grab your liquid eyeshadow, throw it on the lid, grab your mascara, run it through your lashes, and you're done. It could be that look so easily, and I love that. Now I'm gonna start deepening things up a little bit, but I don't wanna use the deepest tone in the palette yet because I actually want to add color, but also deepen a little, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna use this Morphe X Jeffree Star JS5 fluffy brush. It's a little bit smaller than the brush that I started with, so it should keep the color a little more condensed. I don't wanna blow it out quite as large as these shades out here, but I do wanna still blow it out a little bit because it's not the deepest shade, and the deepest shade is gonna be the smallest portion of the crease. So I'm gonna go into this really berry color. I don't know, it's like a warm purple magenta, fuchsia, if you will. And with this shade, like I said, I'm starting it right into the innermost portion of the crease, and I'm just gonna blow it out bigger and bigger till it gets right to the edge of the previous shade. Wow, that is so pretty. Do you see what I mean? How it just it warmed it up with that color. It made it look very raspberry-y, but it didn't take away from the first shade that I used. You can still see it up there on the outside. And actually, I'm gonna go back in with that Sigma brush that I started with, the E35, and just take the brush with no extra pigment, and just lightly go over this edge a little bit, just to be sure I don't lose any of that color, because I really like that color. I want it to stay there. That's so perfect. I do want it to go the tiniest bit higher than where it is though, because remember, I'm still gonna go in with one more shade to deepen things up. There we go. I love that. That shade was so very pretty. Now it's time to deepen the look. So I'm gonna use the very, very dark mulberry brown. It's kind of a little bit of a purpley brown, not a lot though. And I'm gonna go into that with a Morphe M456 brush. I love these for the deepest shade since I've got smaller lids and crease space to work in. It's nice to have a fluffy, wide brush that can just get in the crease and blow out a darker color. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. And I'm taking the tiniest bit of shadow on this brush. It's very close to black and I don't want it to get way too dark. I just want it to define the crease. So I'm starting out very, very softly. See, you can see already how much darker that looks. That is so scary to see that happen so fast. Another reason why I really like to use this brush for this purpose is once you get in the crease and you've got it built up enough with the darkest tone that you're using, all you gotta do is flip the brush and blend out the shade on the crease, because that's exactly wide enough to not take over all of the hot pink that we used in the crease, but also not take over any of the lighter shade on the outside of the crease. But it still goes above where my lid hits my crease, so it gets rid of the hood that I've got. So it's like the perfect size. It's the perfect brush for hooded lids. Now that I've used all the mattes in the palette except one, it's time to go in with some shimmer. I'm feeling naked with the shininess on my eyes. So, since I want to make this berry look very berry rather than more nude, I'm gonna go in with the deep purple over here first, and that's gonna be pretty much my all over shimmer shade for the lid, but I'm also gonna add a little bit of this bright champagne-y gold in the inner corner. So kind of like peanut butter and jelly sort of moment. And I'm just gonna go in with my finger with the purple shade. Wow, that's almost a perfect match of these two shades mixed together. Since those are the two shades that are stacked up in the crease, it almost matches it perfectly. Perfect, the purple is laid down everywhere now. Oh, that looks funny. My fingerprint on this side looks really odd. Okay, now I'm gonna use the Morphe X Gemistar JS10 flat packing brush, and now I'm gonna go into the shade in the top corner, the really bright, yellowy kind of gold. I'm just gonna pull this shade about halfway down the lid, and then just kind of pat it into the purple shade just to make sure everything blends seamlessly and we don't have any weird edges. And last, I'm also gonna add a little bit of that shade to the brow bone. So that's gonna be my brow bone highlight as well. Okay, brow bone highlight is applied. Now before I can go in and finish off the lower lash line and just complete the look entirely, I need to go ahead and go off camera and do all of my face makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead, do that, give me just a few minutes or a couple of seconds for you, and I'll be right back. Face makeup is now completely applied. Let's move on to the lower lash line. I'm gonna first go in with the Luxie 217 pencil brush, and I'm gonna use the like raspberry kind of this shade again. And I'm going to tightline my lower lash line. And last, using the Ulta X Harry Potter The Stone brush, I'm going to blend everything out with a shade that I started with, the top tan, peachy kind of color. And now for the very last final touch, I'm going to use the Morphe M321 pencil brush, crease detail brush, inner corner highlight brush, call it what you will, but I'm gonna use it for an inner corner highlight, and I'm gonna use the really light, pretty golden shade that I used in the inner corner and really use it in the inner corner. And with the inner corner highlight, that is it for the look. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, finish off my lower lash line mascara, as well as throw a liner in the waterline, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts on the Midas Cosmetics Unveiled collection. And we are back with the finished look. This is everything done, and all the pieces have come together to make a whole face. And I think this eyeshadow look is quite beautiful. It is very berry, it is very wearable. I wouldn't call it nude at all, but it does have those outer tones that are semi-neutral. So it makes it a nice transition between the berry tones and the neutral skin tones. So I can definitely see where they get the berry nude. I think this is a really great everyday kind of palette because it offers a really great versatile color story that stays within the realm of berry. But I could have gone just neutral if I wanted to, or I could have added just a subtle tone of berry and just kind of pushed it in the direction of berry but not gone berry like I did. Point being, it's versatile. It can do really what you want it to do. And I'm excited to jump into the Cool Nudes palette as well because it has some of these like orangish sort of tones over here, like almost mustardy. And I'm really excited to see how that goes with the more cool toned neutral color story as well. But all in all, I think for the price and the color story that you get, plus the quality of the shadows being used, definitely worth it, definitely recommend. Whether I was an affiliate or not, definitely recommend. I'm excited to see more Unveiled palettes as they release. So make sure you guys stay tuned on Instagram. I've been trying really hard to make more videos over there for you guys as well. So I will try to use some of these other Midas Cosmetics palettes that I've gotten that I haven't used yet. I keep buying them, I just haven't had the chance to really dive into them yet. So stay tuned. I will try to use more over there, and I'll try to get to where I can use more over here as well. There's just a lot of launches that happen and I'm trying to keep up. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Let me know what you think about the Unveiled palettes and if you like this kind of theme that they're doing. I'm excited to see more and just what the next color story is. If you have a guess, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know what you guys think. And if you do know Midas Cosmetics as a brand, or if you know Rocio and you have a guess as to what the next palette might be, let me know in the comments. You guys know that I always love to have a conversation with you. So mention it down there, let's talk. Also, if you made it this far in the video, congratulations to you and thank you for staying. But if you did make it this far, you get to hear about today's giveaway. This is gonna be the first of 6 giveaways. I will leave the photo of the giveaway items right here. All you've got to do to enter this giveaway is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, like this video, and make sure you comment a lipstick emoji down below. Don't say why you're commenting it. Try to throw in other comments or words with the comment too, just to kind of make it not so obvious, because I want to do this for you guys that have been here, for you guys that have been supporting me, rather than trying to bring in a bunch of new people. Not that I have a problem with new subscribers at all, ever, but I just want to give back to you guys. You guys are the reason I'm here. You're the reason I do this, and I just want to give back and let you know that I appreciate you. More than you could ever really imagine. So enter that down below. I wish you all the best of luck and stay tuned for the following ones. I'm not gonna say when I'm gonna do them. I don't even know when I'm gonna do them yet. Just stay tuned. And if you did enjoy this video, it would mean the world to me if you wanted to give me a thumbs up. Anyway, just to let me know that you liked the video. Lets me know that you like my content, keeps me engaged, as well as it's positive affirmation. You know, it's just letting me know that I'm doing an okay job. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!